We begin tonight with this monster hurricane slamming Jamaica at this hour. A Category 5 hurricane, winds up to 185 miles per hour. Authorities are calling this life-threatening. The images coming in at this hour, the strongest storm to ever make landfall on the island.
Tonight, families on the island nation of Jamaica in the eye of the storm, facing the strongest hurricane they've ever seen. Authorities warning no infrastructure can survive these winds, begging everyone who didn't evacuate to stay put.
Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave.
The next couple of hours, they'll still have impacts on Jamaica. We've lost the eye. That doesn't mean much for Cuba, though. You're still going to have a major hurricane making landfall, I'd say, between midnight and 2 a.m.
This is one of the most powerful hurricanes we've had in the entire Atlantic basin that is about to make a landfall. This is one of the strongest storms we've had on record.
Welcome to Destiny Global. Today we're going to speak about the devastating hurricane that occurred in Jamaica a few weeks ago. But firstly, we would like to say that life is an hurricane, and you can never be prepared for everything that it throws at you. Jamaica has suffered hurricane before, historically. They've just been through Gilbert, and they have been through Beryl. But it was not a Category 5 hurricane like this hurricane. This hurricane has wreaked havoc, catastrophe, especially in the western part of Jamaica. And when one looks at it on the news internationally and see what was happening, you can imagine what happened to everyone who knows what hurricane is like, especially in the Caribbean and in places like South America. Jamaica, you can imagine the people, how they must be feeling. Because as Jamaicans abroad, we always keep abreast of what is happening at home. And no matter how we are with one another, when something as great magnitude as this has happened, we all want to chip in whatever means necessary to make it more easy for the people who is there. The hurricane caused great devastation throughout. And I was so pleased and overwhelmed to see so many countries, El Salvador, a lot of the other Caribbean islands, Spain, Israel, not forgetting America, so much people have come to the aid of Jamaicans, which make a lot of people start to think there has been a lot of disaster before, and not one has been recorded where so much country so expeditiously has come to the aid of another country. So for that, we have to show a lot of gratitude for what has happened. And we know that Jamaicans are resilient people. No matter what happened, they're going to come out of it. As I said, I was so overwhelmed to see all the DJs, all the singers, everybody doing their part. It was an amazing thing to see. But when I want to look at what has Britain, I didn't hear or see anything spectacular that Britain has done. The only thing that they have done, they've offered £2.5 million. How can you offer to a country who is in devastation £2.5 million when you've given Ukraine to fight a war £26 billion? Not forgetting, Ukraine is not a member of your Commonwealth. Ukraine has not helped, assisted you to build back Britain after World War II. You cannot look at your sovereign nation and treat them with such disregard, such disdain, such disrespect. We as a community and as Jamaicans should come out against this. We should lobby the Prime Minister and we should make him know what is the history that we have provided to this country to make this country what it is today. You look at that 2.5 million. What can that do? One doesn't even want to calculate it in Jamaican dollars at all. And I want to go back to the Windrush generation. Look what the Windrush generation has done to build this country. During those times, the British government sent for all the people from the Caribbean to assist to build back the country after World War II. The people came here after leave their children, maybe with grandparents or with aunts, alienated away from their children, ostracizing from their children. Can you imagine what that has done to a mother and father to leave their child to look a better life in a foreign place that you don't even know anything about? It's cold. You know that they have problems with racial problems, and you're going into that to fight a terrain. And when they come, they have menial jobs in the hospitals, on the buses, in the factories. So they have done all your menial tasks to build your country. And then you look at them when they need you the most. That is the time you're going to say 2.5 million pounds. I think Britain should really look at this again. And we of the diaspora of the Caribbean is not going to stand for this at all. As a matter of fact, I think the Prime Minister of Jamaica should have refused that money that they offered. What about being down on the ground like other countries, like America, like Spain, like Israel, assisting the people with helicopters, with things that they sophisticated that have at their disposal? What about helping to rebuild the country? Just like how the Windrush generation assisted them to build this country. That said, we will not leave the matter as Jamaicans because we have paid our dues and we deserve to see some sort of compensation from the British government. It does not matter how much aid we get from other people, considering that other people did not treat us the way that Britain did. But on the second fold, I would like to look at the rebuilding of the country. We all know that Jamaica will always come out on top, irrespective of the situation that they find themselves in. So what do they need to do? They are doing it very well. They're pulling together. They're pulling together with all the resources that they have, with all the unity that sometimes they do not show when they go abroad. But this time, I can only say that I am very, very pleased with the way that they've come together and unified in getting the country back. We know it's going to take some time. Nothing like that devastation can be rebuilt overnight. Considering that they have never in that region seen a Category 5 hurricane like that before. I cannot even imagine, I cannot even put myself in the people's places, how they must be feeling. When I watch it on the TV or on YouTube, you know, tears come to your eyes when you see people telling you they've got no food, they've got no clothes, They've got no homes. They're sleeping on the street. And that brings me to the point where I can remember during COVID, when all the people who come into the country, they had to put them quarantine in a hotel. I was thinking, why hasn't the government come to some agreement with the hoteliers to put a lot of the people in hotels? There's no tourists coming to the country now. So why don't we utilize the hotel just like how we utilized the hotel during COVID? That is something that I think maybe the Prime Minister should look at now to accommodate a lot of the people. Because until aid start coming in, which is going to take time, by shipping, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a next week or two to clear it. It's going to take time for these things to be in place. So I'm saying that he could look at having an agreement with the hotels to put the people up temporarily. The next point or issue I want to touch on is the remarkable happening of Dr. Nigel Clark, the Minister of Finance, when he insured against hurricane. When 2 years ago he did this, the opposition leader and all the other members were up in arms about it. But just like anything else in life, once you don't see it in front of you, if it's not tangible, then some people cannot see the philosophy of it. But this man not only had hindsight, he had foresight. He insured Gilbert, he insured the other hurricane, and he insured Melissa. He did not know that this hurricane was going to be so devastating, but he took it upon himself to make sure that it was insured. And now we have a payout of 150 million. Imagine if someone wasn't ingenious as that to do that. It has never been done in the history of any country insuring against a hurricane. And that can show you also the shrewd thinking of Jamaicans, the astute thinking. We must never downplay this for what this gentleman has done, because he has given us some backbone to help us to rebuild the country. So I'm imploring to all Jamaicans and to all the people in the Caribbean and to anyone who sees the devastation and know within their hearts that these are human beings just like yourself. And no one wants to be without a home, without food, without shelter. No one wants to be like that. So let us put together and try our best. We do not have to give money, but we can give prayer, whatever you can give. And as my t-shirt says, we can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. In conclusion, I want to show a lot of appreciation and gratitude for the way the Jamaican government has handled this situation, because it is a situation that has never been encountered before. I know that they cannot do everything instantaneously, but put yourself in their shoes as well. It is not easy. They're only humans as well. So whatever you think of the Prime Minister and his team, just try and unite with them and do whatever you can, because everybody is working for the benefit of rebuilding this beautiful island of Jamaica. Please do not forget to subscribe, and share with all your friends.